Welcome. Let me just put that down here. Not burn myself. It's been a little while. I wanted to check in with everybody and see how you're holding up from this eclipse energy. First of all, the first pass, we're going to be experiencing this energy for quite some time. Eclipses are typically felt 4 to 6 weeks prior and 4 to 6 weeks after, and we have a solar eclipse coming up next week. So yeah, let me check my calendar there. Yeah, the 29th, I have it written in Aries. That's a partial, but it doesn't matter. It's energy. Hi, Jess. I am all over the place. How are you doing? All over the place. Yep. That sounds about right. Doing my best to navigate all of this Pisces energy, which can be pretty cool, but on the flip side, it can be messy and confusing and really. So what do we got going on? We had the lunar eclipse, and then last week we had the sun meet up with Saturn. That conjunction was a pain or more for many. Maybe some didn't get hit by that energy this go around, but for many, and myself included, it was setbacks, frustrations, delays, blockages. You can't do it this way. And then it was also about like checking in with self, like, what is it in me that is causing the blockage, or is this actually part of the cycle? So that was last week. I feel that energy loosening up a little bit, but we still have the sun in Pisces. Hi, Martin. Neptune in Aries is the next big one. Yeah. So today, I think the sun met up with the North Node. And that's not easy either. The North Node, it seems like it would be like, oh, we're getting pushed into our destiny. But really, to actually, I don't have my moderators here. Bear with me. Let's put a pin in that. All right, we're going to start here. Hi, Lisa. Just kind of getting, cleaning up a little bit here. Anybody else? Did I miss? Okay. So, hi, Tori. I'm really going to be a very strict moderator today. If I can find it. Oh, wait, there you are, Amy. Thank you. I see the wrench now. Thank you. All right, so let me just, that was a lot that just came in, right? And that's what I'm talking about, this Pisces energy. So yeah, the sun met up with Saturn in Pisces last week and really just brought all kinds of frustrations, setbacks, delays, blockages, things not working the way that they were supposed to, all of that good stuff. And that's my observation and experience. That energy's loosening up a little bit. So try not to hold on to like what just, oh, thank you for subscribing. Try not to hold on too tightly to what happened that caused like frustration or anger, or just like getting back down into depression, like down in the dumps, because so many things just aren't moving, or there's a lot of roadblocks. Saturn's just like, no, not now, or not this way, or whatever. Yes, and then we have the Mercury went retrograde right after the eclipse. So that add that into the mix, right? For sure. Again, miscommunications and things just not going as planned. Also, it messes with the mind if you're in like one bandwidth of in the mind, which is kind of nice because it'll like break you. It's trying to break you out of like getting stuck. I know for myself personally, like if I get too hyper focused on something that I'm doing, right? Especially when it comes to being on the computer or technology, I can really kind of stay in that space for like a lot longer than I need to. But anyway, so yeah, we have that. What else? Today, the North Node. So the North Node in Pisces, it's something that it's an energy, it's a version of ourselves that we are being molded and shaped, and it requires the South Node of like letting go of things too, in order for this new, preparation for the future version of self. Hi, Steph. You got live. Yay. And that's today. And I felt that today personally. Pisces in my sixth house. And it seems like, everything I was putting out there as far as getting a lot of creative juices flowing and having a lot of downloads and wanting to put it out there. And then Saturn came in and it was just like, nope, 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 nope. It feels like being pulled in two directions. Yes, says Amy. Amy says, I heard it somewhere that put it perfectly. These astrology aspects right now feels like having a foot on the gas and a foot on the brake at the same time. Yeah, and that's exactly. Yeah, I've heard people use that metaphor too, for this type of energy. So yeah, and then we have the sun meet up in a conjunction with Neptune, who's at the very, very, very last degree of Pisces, has been in Pisces since 2011, 2012, something like that. And it is the ruler of Pisces. So the sun meets up with Neptune on Wednesday. What an interesting day that's going to be, for sure. Hello, hello. So, and then we have the equinox. So we're talking about cycles upon cycles upon cycles that are, they're all coming to either a closure, or they're intertwining with each other. Right now, I do see it as these cycles overlapping each other, and really, we're meeting up with past versions of ourselves. You might even have people from the past coming back into your life if there was unresolved things. I mean, there's just so much. It's such God. It's a lot of different experiences to be had all in one. I'll tell you, March feels like a whole year for me. It feels like a whole year has gone by. Definitely Eight of Wands energy, says Amy. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, being initiated into, Martin, that's a good way of saying it, into the North Node. It's not easy, the North Node, but it is definitely worth it. So if you look back, if you reflect back on yourself and on your life and on your growth and maturity, a lot of it has to do with just our maturing and not placing blame. Because I'll tell you, this energy that we're in now is quite quick to bounce right back. That mirror, oh, I just got, oh, we're getting some kind of tone in the ear all of a sudden. That mirror just bounces right back, and that reverberation is also the instant manifestation of our thoughts, the telepathic communication, especially with the little kids. It's blowing my mind. I love it. But we do want to be mindful of like what thoughts we actually attach to right now, because this energy is not changing. We are. We're the ones changing. Oh boy. And it's a lot. It took me down. It took me down all last week. I just felt like an old version of myself. And I kind of sunk into some kind of like, not necessarily depression, but was really trying to get to the bottom of like, what is it? What's wrong with me? Kind of questioning. And I did receive the answers, but yeah, it just felt like, and Venus is in the underworld right now. So in her retrograde, and she and Mercury are actually pretty much tag teaming their retrogrades, it feels like. So there's a lot of review. There's a lot of, ooh, wait until we get into all this Aries energy, all this new energy, right? Anyway, that was my sloppy interpretation of the astrology. Anyway, Jess says, I have someone who is constantly stuck in the woe is me mentality. Oh, I know. And that's a tough place to be stuck in, because it's something that we can get so used to, and it's something that we see in the outside world so easily. Of course, you're going to attract to you whatever mentality you get stuck in. So like, I love to place myself in neutral. Of course, we're going to go one way or the other, but I like to be in as much as I possibly can, the fun bus. I like the adventure and the joy and the happiness, but there's definitely a flip side to that. And when that energy arises, I go right into hermit. How's everyone suffering going, says Martin. That's right. Good, I hope. Melancholy, yeah. Trying so hard not to stick myself to it, like being positive isn't good enough for that person. No, there's unfortunately, it's a feedback loop that they're stuck in. And if they can, if you feel called to, or if they're asking for guidance to like go in there and see what's causing that stuckness, and help them release it. But they have to be ready. That's the whole thing. They have to be ready. Tori says, I want to be on the fun bus, please. That's right. I mean, we all get to ride the struggle bus long enough too, right? But like, we could make that a fun bus. And usually that helps a lot. We do need to protect our energy. Absolutely. There's been a lot. And it's hard, right? I know, as somebody who just loves to open up and give, I have had to tighten up my energetic boundaries as well, because you can feel and sense them coming a mile away. Somebody that like, oh, I need your energy, and like not to take from that person, like not to judge. We've all been there unconsciously. But when you're already sensing it a mile away, it's like, okay, I need to tighten up. I need to tighten up the boundaries a little bit. There we go. The fun bus, the first card out. I love that. Sugar glider, adventure, leap of faith, it says here. And of course, we've been riding high highs, which then, is when you get up high, that fall is so much further to go. And it's like, of course, I take it when the energy goes down. I just rest. I just want to sleep. And usually, oddly enough, the weather around me is like that type of weather that it's just cloudy, cold, or rainy. And I'm like, okay, good, because I need a nap. Martin says, want to learn about time travel? Meet me here last week, Tuesday. All right, let's do it. So yeah, getting into our natural energy, which does have a sense of adventure. We can be a little more lighthearted. We can laugh at ourselves, because last week was tough. Last week was really tough. And some people may still be holding on to last week's energy and still like feeling the tension and the frustration. I lost it. Two of Wands, balancing it. Okay. Like, look down. We have the Two of Wands, the flamingo, which is all about balancing ourselves through the high highs and the low lows, balancing ourselves through the ups and the downs. And if we want to get out of our own, if you feel stuck, if you know you're stuck, it's almost, now they're showing me like, in the ocean, some call it like a rip current or a rip tide or an undertow, and you can kind of get sucked into it. It can suck you out. But the way to like not get swallowed by the sea and something like that is to either relax, let the current take you till a place where it's not so strong and you can swim to the side, or if you're feeling strong enough, just swim to the side. And that's another analogy that or advice that we're given here with the flamingo is sometimes those currents are really, really strong, and I mean, we get caught in them. I got caught in it. Woo, boy. I get caught in one. Yeah. But really, as soon as I really sit with it and allow it and allow it to really show me what it's transmuting, what it's changing, what's arising in me, that I get a choice. Do I want to actually keep this with me? Whether it's a belief, it's usually a belief, a thought, which is something that we latch onto and turn it into a story or a belief. Anything. We can either hold on to that and keep suffering, or we can choose to like, no, I no longer want to believe this. I no longer want to hold on to this. It doesn't matter. Thank you for showing me what I needed to see to help free myself. Really, old conditioning and programs. Yes, this is a general reading. Yes. So then we come up with the rooster, the Three of Wands. And I feel like as we navigate into this week a little bit more, this week is so changing. So many cycles are like spinning around and colliding into each other. But we've got the equinox, that like something's going to like bring it back into balance a little bit more. We still have the other eclipse, the solar eclipse. But what the Three of Wands is telling me is that it's to go with the flow is what I'm really picking up here. It's a preparation phase. We're being prepared for something new. So it's time to wake up out of this Pisces slumber soon enough. It's been foggy, right? It's been heavy. It's been confusing for many, and not just all the Pisces energy and the retrogrades and the all of it. It's just like, whoo, there's been so much. The lunar eclipse we just had was so eerie to me, says Amy. Yeah, I agree. I woke up and saw some of it, and I just got this weird like feeling, and I heard, go back to bed. Go back to bed. You don't need to watch this. And I was like, okay. And lo and behold, there are people that really like, since that eclipse, they kind of lost their minds. I'm not saying everybody, but it had such an intense effect on anybody who were lying to themselves, running away from something. And all those egoic patterns and protective mechanisms we've developed don't work anymore. And it's an awakening for many people. Like, it can be really scary. Let's see what you guys are all saying here. Greatness is coming, says Jess. Yeah. Is this about fixing Aries? You mean the do you mean the Aries era? Because we're still, if you're looking at the ages, the processional, yeah, that's definitely a big one for sure that we'll be working on for a while, and within ourselves. And as each and every person works on that distorted masculine, the anger, the us against them, the me, mine, I, the narcissism, all of these things within ourselves. Stop projecting blame and looking at other people that are acting a fool, and take it within. What part of me was either impacted and affected, and because we are all both, we are all of it, all of us. When you're a victim to something, it turns on also the persecutor somewhere. Not to say that it's the same, but I mean, energy is energy. So we all within ourselves gotta like do that work of undoing. I am a Pisces and I have 4 planets in Pisces. It's really heavy. Yeah, really heavy. Luckily, we're moving out of it pretty quickly now. We've been in it for a while. Hello, Karen. The eclipse was unbelievable. I know. Hello, Michael. My birthday is on Thursday, and I have been feeling weird since Pisces season. I'm a Pisces too. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can imagine that you've been feeling a lot of, and that weird feeling for me personally was, I had to really sit with it over and over again. And I kept having, when like certain smells or certain things just bring up a nostalgic memory, but it's not all nostalgia is good. Some nostalgia, or let's not call it nostalgia, just memories of the past, childhood memories, creep back up, because it's like, oh, I've had a lot of those moments where I had to really do some adjustments of my own self and bring those wounded children to the present moment within myself, if that makes sense. Internet is choppy here this morning. Oh, we're having there's like a lot of solar flares going on, and I had that happen to me earlier today. I was going for a walk, and I was just listening to my music, and all of a sudden it kept cutting off in different areas, like I wasn't picking up any signal. And it's very windy here too. The past energy has been heavy. Today the sun is shining, and I refuse to have that heaviness upon me today. Good. Yeah, we need to give ourselves a break, because the break in the energy is coming. It's just not here yet that heaviness, ooh, is still with us. And we can do what we can do to like stand, like look at the flamingo. If you have a body of water, this is a great practice, by the way. I live by two streams of water, and when I'm really feeling the collective energy and the stream and the chaos and everything around me, and it's like about to break me, but there really isn't much to break, I go stand in the middle of the stream on a rock or in the water, and I let the water rush by me, but I'm standing still, strong. And I'm telling myself that regardless what is flowing around me, crazy, I stand here in this energy. And of course, it's in nature. So I have the sun and the trees that are overlooking me, but it's a really great practice to kind of get you back into your center and your groundedness. And if you don't have a stream nearby, you can improvise. You can just use your imagination too. But water is very, very powerful when it comes to help clear heavy, dense energies like this. Why this eclipse is so heavy and changing everything. Yeah, eclipses are life changers. That's why. Eclipses, and I mean, they're not rare. We have them every 6 months, but it is they're bigger cycles that they're clearing up. And it really will change your life if there's something in our lives that we're unable to make those changes or see. It will clear things up to the point where we can see things clearly. Right now, through the lunar eclipse, it's more emotional stuff. By the solar eclipse, I think there's going to be more clarity. Even though we've got Mercury in retrograde, that actually might help. We'll see. We'll feel it out, right? I'm like right in this with you guys. Amy, matriarch and patriarch needs to come back into balance. Yes, Karen, my ego got smashed over the last cycle, but I'm here still standing. Yeah, I think a lot of our egos got a little bit of a smackdown last week for sure. Melancholy. Amy, the moon will bring the subconscious up to the surface. Anything that needs to be resolved will resurface. Absolutely. Michael says deep stuff. It is deep stuff. It's important stuff, though, if you want to feel better and feel free and be able to navigate life in the chaos. Clearly, we have to remove our own internal darkness and chaos. That some of it, a lot of it isn't even ours. We've carried it. We've carried it for our parents and our grandparents, and who knows, like it goes deep, that deep. Karen says, I revisited so many horrible moments, but perspective is different. Yep. Same here. Amy says, that's so awesome. I wish I had that. Karen, I also have a beautiful garden, so dirt in the fingernails is therapeutic. Absolutely. Phoenix, UEP, so agree with smacking ego apart. Yeah. And Jazz, I agree, Karen did some yard work this weekend, and there was definitely dirt under the nails. Very helpful. And we do naturally know what's going to make us feel better, naturally. And I'm sure through the Pisces energy, the escapism is very strong. That definitely came out in me too. And I was finding all these ways that I just tap out and escape. And it's okay to do that from time to time. But when it becomes a pattern, you're like, oh, what am I running and hiding from? Myself. Okay. Dense, hard energy. We've got to open up to it and see what it's about. Sometimes it is just a matter of being that stillness in the storm, for sure. Last week was rather testing. Yes, it was. Yeah, really was. Big time. And it brought out in me It started out as frustration that just kept hitting me at the same, like, in the same pain point, to the point where I was like, like I got angry. I didn't react towards anybody, but I could see how I would have in the past. And just letting that anger out with myself helped kind of clear it. And then I'm like, okay, like, what is this crazy mess that is going on right now? And the rooster says, rise and shine. It is, there's some stuff going on that, you know, we got to see ourselves, right? Again, overall, we have the chimpanzee, the Two of Pentacles, and that is finding your balance right now. Very important. Very important to tap into your own intuition. Very important to connect with your guides. Very important to feel your way through this energy and not navigate. If we're using the old operating system of the monkey mind, forget it. You're going to feel anxious. You're going to feel a lot of stuff we don't want to feel. And this is not bypassing. This is teaching us how to flow with the energy versus getting caught up in the monkey mind, right? Of the programming and the craziness that's going on outside of ourselves. We always have a choice. And this energy, and look what's below that, the owl, the moon. If you slow down enough, you can see through the shadows. Our psychic abilities, our psychic powers are so strong right now. Stronger than you can even imagine. It might be hard to believe yourself, but it will be validated and confirmed to you over and over and over again. And then, welcome to the ride then, right? Welcome to the fun bus. It's not always fun though, especially if you got some stuff still left over inside. Jess says, I was rather hostile and angry last week. Yep, me too. Still kind of dragging into this week, and that's okay. That's okay. Darren, that's exactly what I've been doing. No outbursts, dealing with it nicely. Good. Karen, lots of generational trauma. Oh, and I got angry, crazy, mad. Yeah. Darren says meditation a lot. Good. Phoenix, my sister had a heart attack last week for the first time. Oh, wow. She's a workaholic. I'm very stressed. It has been affecting me so much. It made me change, and this situation is so new. Oh, I don't know what I just did. Oh, how did I do that? That's so weird. I had a green screen. I didn't even know I could do that. I don't know how I did it, but fun. Okay. I'm sorry about what's going on with your sister, and I hope that she gets, she's gonna be okay. Tori, I've been watching the Blue Jays play out back today, and what a great day it is. Good. You have Blue Jays? Yeah, too. I've got the Cardinals here still. Yeah, Amy says, sorry to hear that, Phoenix. I have a green screen. I hope she's okay, Phoenix. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy St. Patty's Day. All of these commercial holidays nowadays, I just can't even keep up. I can't even keep up with what day it is, truly. And I'm okay with it. It's weird. It took a while for me to get used to, but like when I kind of surrendered to that too, not like being completely oblivious, but letting myself not be under the constraints of time and the calendar. And trusting that what I need is coming to me as far as information. My bills are still getting paid on time. It's a dance right now. It's a dance with this energy that we're all being taught how to dance with this energy. And we can say, no, I don't want to play, and that's fine. But eventually you do surrender, or you get pulled right back into the stream of the old, which by now feels like really bad. And at least to me it does. It's so fake and phony and like just so weird and awkward. And I have a lot of compassion for people who are really still believing all of that to be true, you know? Amy says, all the dangerous storms that went through over the weekend. Oh, yes. Hope everyone is okay, and everyone that's been affected. Yeah. The earth, that was a strong message I got. What was that, February? I don't remember, but I remember it coming up saying that there's going to be a lot of very strong, not just weather patterns, but that the earth also is, making moves and shifts. The poles have shifted, and I can't even tell you how many different psychics that I know have been predicting a lot of these plane crashes and like just things in the air not staying in the air for several months, like before this year even began. And there's just so much going on. So much going on. Cyclone storms, winds, but it's the little things. Power, water, milk. Yeah. Oh, I know. I know. We had that happen last month here, and I was without power for a bit, but grateful that my sister and brother-in-law only live 3 miles from me, and they have a generator. They had power, actually. I didn't need a generator, but I always have a place to stay if I need it. I feel like there's more messages. I think that we're going to get the Muse Tarot out now. See what else wants to be discussed amongst us all. Ooh, because this message is clearly just about going with the flow, finding our balance. We get knocked over, we come right back up. And each time it's almost like we're showing me how stones get shaped over time by the water. And maybe fragments of them chip off, but they still become. That's so interesting. Oh, not a topic I like to talk about. So why? Tell me why. Tell me why before we go into it. Ancestral. Okay. Woo! So, this next topic has been coming up a lot. And they want me to discuss it. They want us to discuss it or just be aware of it. And overall, we are talking about giving from the heart. And yes, our mind, our ego, we always have good intentions when we're giving, or do we? What are the true intentions inside when we give? Give of time, give of love, give of ourselves. Talking about the people that are coming into the radar, like wanting to be a part of my energy, your energy. What is it in us that just freely, naturally gives? And then we learn a really hard lesson in codependency. And hi, Dustin. And this one's deep, but we're going to try to chip away at this. You missed the first message, but the first message was just all about finding our balance in this energy. And I feel like what we're moving into when it comes to us truly being in our heart all the time, If we're not in our heart when we're giving, then there's an ancestral pattern that we are either not aware of consciously. This is karma, and we are going through a lot of karmic cycles right now. So the heart, it's where prosperity lives. Yes, 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 yes. So this desire to be desired, this is the inner child who had been abandoned. Oh, and this one came up for me. Yes. This one came up for me even this morning. You know, when the energy gets so dense and it's really hard to even just connect to your guides or to another human being. And there's moments of that. And it, at least for me, when I feel that energy, I allow the opening of, I suddenly feel like abandoned. I suddenly feel like I was just dropped here all alone, trying to just figure it out. And I'm tired of doing this all alone. And like that girl in me came alive. And that's important to have that inner dialogue with somebody, like a void. Yeah. Karen's like, yeah. And in the past, I see how, for myself personally, there was a key person that came into my life that really opened and unlocked my heart in a big way. And it needed to happen because I was very guarded. Nobody could get in there. And this person did. And that attachment I had to the person really showed up in me. I was witnessing myself. I was witnessing myself being obsessed with another person involuntarily. I didn't volunteer for it. The cardinal is watching me right now. Yeah, hi. Involuntarily became obsessed with this person that opened my heart, right? And deep, going deeper into that, there was a deep abandonment wound that needed to be looked at and healed. Obsession is a great word for it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And it makes no logical sense, right? So what that experience taught me, because I was able to see that pattern in my mother and my father. And even though we thought we were really giving of our love, of ourselves from the heart, there was something deeper there. There was a fear. There was a fear of being abandoned again or being all alone. You know, so let's get a little deeper into that. My son is key for me. I had to acknowledge my abandonment issues so that he doesn't inherit it. Oh, yeah. Same. Absolutely. Same. I think we cleared that, my son and I. In 20. It was after my grandson was born. And I want to say 2023, 2024. Because we become enmeshed. We don't know it. We don't recognize it. You're so used to like being the mother to somebody, right? And not that I was ever a helicopter or whatever they call it, like a hovering mother. But there's an energy attachment. And it's never going to go away. But there's things that change and evolve and mature and adapt and grow. And sometimes it does take more space and different paths to actually come back into harmony again. So yeah, for everybody it's different. Still struggle with my abandonment issues from time to time. Yeah, and you may struggle with codependency. Yeah, and you know what? I feel like this not just these eclipses, like for it's been nonstop since the last new moon. Um, it's really been showing all this stuff. And my ego gets mad, like, I thought I already, healed all this stuff. But we just get to see our patterns again. And it's really that's all it is to it. We learn naturally that way. We're given opportunities to grow out of them, to evolve out of them. Tori, I very much feel alone. Both my parents just passed away in the last 11 months. This has been a very long winter. I'm so sorry to hear that, Tori. Has been a long winter. And you're not alone. None of us are alone. Okay? We are not alone. Look what's below that. Grace. Oh, okay. We're going to get into the tarot here, but we're really getting into something here. So it turns out usually that limerence or involuntary obsession with another person, this desire to be desired, this abandonment wound, it wasn't for nothing that we had these experiences with the card says the takers posing as givers. And this is very much like trickster energy. And this is just for your own. This is not to place blame out to somebody else. We've all played these parts. These are parts. These are characters. These are archetypes and roles, okay? And they teach us a very valuable lesson of, the angels are with us, a very valuable lesson of things we couldn't see. But maybe like to go deeper, and then you can actually see these patterns within parents and grandparents, and we can see it in many people in relationships just now, because that's what's changing. The paradigm, the dynamic of relationships will change, will be different than it has been for many years, as far as how we view what marriage is, if that even is a necessity anymore, how we view each other, how we navigate life together without those patterns of fear of abandonment or fear of letting someone down. That was always mine. I don't want to let anybody down, so I'm just going to say, okay. Those are old patterns. And then the opposite side of the spectrum is like, get mad. But it's the Jekyll and Hyde in each of us. So it's also about coming back into neutrality, coming back into balance and self. And it will really it will help change the energetic dynamics of who we're actually in relationship with. Some will not last. Some will not be able to hold this frequency of authenticity, because not only is the veil thin, most people now can clearly see into somebody else's bullshit. Sorry for my language. Can clearly see into each other, their subconscious even. And we've got children walking this planet now that clearly see everything and telepathically hear what's going on in the mind. The gig is up. The jig is up. They're saying these dynamics, these patterns they've got to go away. But first, it's going to be very chaotic. So again, the message is just stay true to who you are. And if someone shows you your shadow, instead of projecting it back out on them, which we do, I mean, that's just human nature, is to be like, all right, thank you. This is something in me. This is a game. This is an energetic game, bouncing back and forth. Not to, you know, there's some really nasty energies going on out there, and I think most of us can use discernment as to who to even allow into our energy field. Um, so we won't go there, but we all know that the violence exists and that abusive people are out there, and just people in massive amounts of pain and running and hiding from that, amongst other things. But that is not the majority of the world, and most of humanity is kind of scurrying around, wounded little children in adult bodies, like trying to figure their stuff out, while the children are like, I see everything right now. Like, it's kind of funny to me in a way. I'm not laughing at anybody's pain, so I don't want anybody to take it that way, or see it that way. I don't think that you would, but let's see what you guys are saying here now. Yeah. Well, there's lots. I'm not going to read all of this, but thank you guys. I'm glad that you guys are all kind of discussing amongst yourselves, and that we have moderators on board now too. That's right. I love that. I love that, Jess. You're just saying what we're thinking. That's true. See, and that's the thing. We can't get away with not being just authentic all the time. And it's not going to be just pure light and love that's going to flow us through here. We really want to find the balance as best as we can. We're human. This is an experience that we're having. So as lovingly as we can, learn to float in grace and give from the heart, and see when, because we get tested. Why do you feel like you need to let somebody into your energy field, or give something of yourself, if it's not coming from the heart? That will show you right then and there, like, there's an imbalance there, within, and it's most likely an ancestral pattern, karma, that we're meant to break. Amy, our soul contracts were signed before we incarnated. We knew what we would be in for, as crazy as it may get. Yep, because that's why all the soul contracts seem very familiar, right? And then sometimes logically it's like, how did that happen? How did I let that person in? Well, because they were supposed to. They were supposed to be there. Let me see if anything else wants to come through. Very, very, yeah. And this is with Venus in her retrograde now, with Mercury, I feel like this relationship department, relationship with self, relationship with others, is coming up for the next, I don't even like to say challenge or test, but energetic reverberations, let's call it. And if you're not being real, it will be called out. It just is. It just is. Hi, Patsy. Hello, welcome. Haven't seen you here in a while. All right. First card out. We got the Strength card. What are we talking about with the Strength card? Right now, I am hearing that the ego has been getting tamed. Taming that inner beast within us, especially last week. Really to truly find our true strength that lies within, from the heart. Leo is in the heart. That is where the strength is. I find it, I'm just trying to find where I fit in the world. And that's the thing, we get that hung up in our head. We all fit in the world. We also co-create with the quantum realm around us. And there's also cycles of experiences that we are meant to have. We have the Star. We have the Two of Inspiration. That is a good one. That, because that's definitely come up for me as well, with some challenging, not even saying challenging energy. I didn't have any experience that, like, but it doesn't matter. Energy is an experience for me. Yeah. You're meant to stand out, Tori. That's right. I don't fit in, says Karen. I shine. Be you, Tori. That's what the world needs. Look at, there you go. The Star. Shine. Darren, my ego has been taking a hit. All right, no doubt. Still here. It took a while. Yeah, all of us have, I feel like. And now it is, we can give ourselves that time to heal our wounds, lick our wounds, and, open ourselves back up for new hope. I mean, when we get into the darkness, it feels like, oh my God, nothing is going to change. I'm going to be stuck here forever. Right? But when we go through the purging and just purge, something feels lighter. Something feels lighter. And that's really, along with the tempering of the ego, or the smackdown of the ego, and for me it was not getting my way. Not getting what I was supposed to be receiving. And that's been an unfair experience I've had my whole life. This time it just happened to be with a package with the United States Post Office, which you all know I've been talking about. I've been having an issue with the post office for months. So I can actually laugh at it all. I see the karma. I see the lesson. I see the test. I see where it's taking me. So that inner child is like, it never works out for me. It always gets taken. And blah, 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 blah. All of that stuff, right? And really see that I have no control. We have no control. Well, the only thing we have control over is ourselves. And so sometimes we let ourselves get out of control, and that's okay. But come back to yourself. Allow that healing to actually take effect so that we can have a new perspective on whatever it is we've just experienced. Oh, thank you, Joshua. That's funny. Joshua says, I want to take all your good vibes and print them on stickers and t-shirts. I love that. Darren says, you get used to the darkness. I've had more dark nights of the soul than hot dinners. I know. Taming the temper. Yep. Amy. But why did he feel the need to write on your door? I know. And that was a foreshadowing of a separate event that happened to me last week. It just doesn't stop. I'm like, oh my God, I've had enough. Karen, I'm a grandma, but I witnessed the little girl in me throwing a fit. Damn. Yep. From one grandma to the other. Yep. And it's okay. But oh God. And then, I can come back out and laugh at myself. Like, oh my God. We get a new perspective. This is a card of introspection. Like, where did that come from? Where did that temper tantrum come from? What is going on? So when you sit with yourself, even for a few minutes, when you get used to this ride and you sit with yourself even for a few minutes and reflect on like what the emotion, not necessarily the catalyst of the emotion, but the emotion itself, it'll take you there. It will show you that because we are we are energy. This is an energy game. Like attracts like, right? I had to let go of I did all I could humanly possible in a very neutral way and even not too pleasant. It's very, with the post office, and that's all I can do. I gotta let that go and allow the energy to flow differently because I don't have control over it anymore. I got nothing. I did everything I'm supposed to do, right? But the Ace of Voices is saying, new perspective. This is all in perspective here. We get to see all of the versions of ourselves, all of the parts of ourselves coming alive. I mean, all the archetypes. And this month is insane. And what it's really, if you want to chalk it down to this, regardless of all the angles and conversations from the planets like that are also parts of ourselves, it is activating all these different archetypes within ourselves, as well as other people that we are engaged with right now. So it is a very interesting place to navigate right now. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, is this me? Is this like, I don't want to tiptoe around life, but sometimes I feel like I feel like Alice in Wonderland right now. I really, really do. Laughter is the ultimate gift. Yeah, absolutely. No one can handle me, says Patsy. The same way, Patsy. Gracefully. Patsy, I'm not that bad. I lock myself in. Well, that's not good either. Oh, you mean you lock yourself in your home? I hope, and not just in your body, your soul. Yeah, let yourself free. I'm sorry. I feel this lighthearted. I don't know why I'm laughing. I guess this is just the way I mean. This is why I laugh at myself because I can see the ridiculousness of it all. Yet the experiences are like it's like being in the boxing ring with yourself, another version of yourself. It's like punch, punch, duck and roll. I lock myself away. Oh, I do that too, though. I hermit. And then I see all the other aspects of me that is, is my audio choppy? Can you guys hear me? That might be go in and out. Guys, fixed. Okay, in and out. If you get a choppy audio, just go in and out. I think we're getting waves of energy coming out. Clear? Okay, good. Okay, good. Some static. We were just stirring up some energy there. Woo, boy. I think I have to let Luna in. Okay. Was it bad for a long time? There's nothing I can do about that anyway, but it's all good now. Good. Yeah, too much laughter, exactly. Let me let Luna in. It's really windy here, and the sun is setting, which is it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sunset this evening. And I do feel still, after this eclipse, I'm really able to connect with nature and spirit and the team again. I've had moments of in and out. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it when I feel dropped, but I know that there's a reason for that. for myself anyway. And, but not only has the energy felt very, I could use the word eerie, because during the eclipse it looked eerie, it felt eerie. Ominous? What is a good word for it? There's a hue that surrounds, like when I go outside, like, and now I know the sun is setting right now, so it's more of a peachy, pinky hue, but I'm telling you, I see that all the time during the day. Even if it's cloudy, I'm like, something looks different just everywhere. And I don't know, maybe it's my eyes. There's a lot of people around me and in my family have been getting their eyes checked lately. That's a whole nother story I'm not going to go into, but yeah, I was just curious if any of you guys have noticed something different about what you're seeing, how you're seeing, or sensing just life since that lunar eclipse. I photograph the sky every now and then, yep, impending. Your guides have gifted you with rose-colored glasses. I happily will take them. Human, the light's different here and the wind's still blowing. Yeah. Always interesting up there. I've been seeing a lot of, okay, so Amy's seeing rainbow hues and flickers of blue in the peripheral vision. Okay. I've been seeing a lot of auras in the rainbow hues and a lot in the sky. I'm a cloud watcher. I'm a sky watcher. But it's interesting because my son had an injury, an accident last week. I won't go into the detail. He's okay, but he like got hit in the eye and probably had a concussion. He's okay. He had his eye checked out, but since then he's been seeing orbs and other things in his peripheral vision, and he's freaking out. I'm like, do you know who your mother is? And your son? Because Clay sees what I see and what Luna sees. And he had to get like knocked out almost to sort of see them. I think it's funny how these things, I mean, I literally took a beating to get my psychic senses open too. Not intentionally, but yeah. A lot of flickers, says Karen. Yeah, says Patsy. Numbers all the time, says Darren. Always looking up, says Patsy. Feathers everywhere, says Jess. Karen, I captured orbs in a lot of landscape and sky pictures. Yes. Darren says feathers too. Martin says numbers. Those are guides. You're in the right path. And we want to keep focusing on that. We are being showered with keep going. I know it's hard right now. We're all watching. We're here. We're cheering you on. And so we get our own, whatever is encoded, whatever we programmed before we came here that was going to resonate for us. We're getting showered with it. And this is like this new energy this is just how it is going forward. So there's a lot of new people waking up to just the number sequences, like it won't leave me alone, and realizing like something, because you feel an energy, something's talking to me, and it like what I mean, I can't tell you how many people have come up to me and like, what does this mean? Because it's like it just won't stop. You know, it's great. Birds, yep, I love it. Amy says they want to be sure you're able to handle the responsibility, right? Yes. Birds, same. Sprays, hawks, yes. Last week, I had a breakthrough from part of the density, and I just gave myself allowance. It got really warm here for a couple of days. I just gave myself this downtime, this allowance. I was playing music outside and just started dancing and really got into it. And when I looked up, there were 2 hawks and then 2, was it 2? Yeah. Well, it started off with 2 hawks. I think they were red-tailed hawks. It doesn't matter, my eyesight. 2 hawks doing the dance with me, and then the eagles came in, and they were just, the whole sky was all these beautiful big birds. Like, yeah, and I felt like I was giving this energy, where I was connecting to this energy. And of course, you know, I have a road outside the front of my house. On my deck, I don't care. I was dancing like nobody's watching, and I could tell that people actually, a couple people turned around and came back. They wanted to see who's dancing on their porch, you know, at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And it just felt so free and so amazing, and how the birds came alive for that. And I wasn't doing it for anybody, or it just automatically came out of me. And I was like, I love this. I want to capture this moment and bottle it up forever. Fairy numbers and gematria. Oh, versus gematria. Interesting. Yes, I read about that, and I have I'm having a blank right now. Feathers and coins all the time. Yep. Robins too. Yep. A new cycle of the unknown. Yes, brand new, says Patsy. I had 2 eagles for a couple of days, but cockatoos are visiting every day. Nice. May your energy rise as high as the eagles can fly. Yes, I've done that before. I entertain. Yeah, I do entertain my neighbor. My one neighbor was like pushing a wheelbarrow or something, and I'm like, hi. Of course, he's like, he knows me. He's like, there's Paige. But it was a couple of days before that, and I do have to let Luna back out. But a couple of days before that, and these were breaks in the energy. So I would go down to the bottom of the barrel of Paige and dig it out and cry it out or scream it out or whatever, and then rise back up, and then the weather would be nice. So one day before this dancing, I was out at the lake, and it was still kind of just tired, but I felt good to be by the water. And I still wasn't feeling fully like myself, though. I was feeling kind of like bummed. I don't even know why. There wasn't anything that happened to make me feel like bummed out, but it was just this like really low energy. And I forget what the catalyst was, but there was definitely something. It was either a memory or somebody had texted me or something, and it like lit me up a little bit, like either it was funny or something. And I look up, and there were 2 eagles right above my head. They were doing like a figure 8, and then they started mating. They were like latching onto each other. They weren't fighting, they were mating. And I was like, oh my God, this is new birth. You know, I guess got like, that really lit me up big time. So yeah, the wind really kicked up here now all of a sudden, big time. I hope I keep my power tonight, please. Anything else? Should we get who? Yeah, let's pull an oracle card to wrap this up. I don't know who. It's a toss-up between Kuan Yin and the Starseed, and Starseed is just calling me. Unless anybody's feeling Kuan Yin. I haven't pulled her in a while. I'm feeling Starseed here. Well, Luna kind of quieted down. She's like, I want to hear the message too. What's going on here? What is your final message for us all? I have to say, this actually feels so good. I haven't pulled cards or haven't done any readings for anybody in a while, and I was kind of feeling like sad about that earlier today, and I still wasn't feeling like fully in my energy, and I lay there for a bit, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. And next thing you know, I got 2 emails requesting readings. And I get this energy. It was like, go ahead. Why don't you go live? Now it was like this energy blockage like lifted just before I came on here to go live. I think I did need to really recharge. I mean, I did have some purging to do too, for sure. And not just purging. I had to meet up with my shadow and have a rendezvous with the shadow for a little while too. And that was cool. It wasn't bad. I like my shadow. But she's certainly not in charge. Hold on, Luna. We have the star ancestors. I know. Give me a minute. Hidden secrets. Lost wisdom. Take a look a little deeper. That's what we've been doing. And that's what this retrograde energy, I feel like, keeps pulling us. It's an invitation. We don't have to do it, but if to free ourselves from old energy, this is what we do. There are hidden secrets that lie within ourselves in the Akashic records as well. Lost wisdom. You know, I felt a lot of imposter syndrome too. I saw a lot of tests. I saw a lot of, and not a lot, but there were key people in the last month or so that they weren't really questioning me, but it seemed like they were kind of questioning my connection, how I read and what I channel through. And is it actually of the light and all that kind of stuff. And that really hurt because I know in my heart of hearts that I don't let in just any energy. And these guides that have been with me my whole life, they've kept me alive up to this point. So I just sit with that. What in me? What is it in me that still questions this? It's not the other people that are questioning me. Ultimately. Lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. And that's only when I get disconnected, totally disconnected, back into the dark, dark place. The ancients knew much more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship, created in precise alignment with the stars, exists in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available to you, available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispers forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong. When we do the unexpected, so often a creative solution is right in front of us. But because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology, and wisdom that are so needed on the planet right now to unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on earth and one day will again. I know. You want to say hi? No? Okay. Yeah, we get in our way a lot of the times. Things can be, we make things more difficult because of our programming, because of our past. But we're learning each step of the way, and we're learning together. Luna knows that's right. Amy says, this is a universe of free will. Thank you all for being here, sharing the light with one another. Absolutely. Thank you all. Look, we have 11. We have 11 people in the chat and 11 likes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love you all. Thank you for, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have this community. And this community does mean a lot. It means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to you guys too. Thank you to all the moderators who help keep it clean and pure and real. And let's just keep swimming. We'll keep swimming together and keep checking in together. And I just am so grateful for all of you. So grateful to have this time with you as well. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening or your day or wherever you are in the world. So much love. Take care. Bye.